By far the weirdest and the fattest looking guy in my gym. I had zero experience in lifting and I was breathing louder than an overweight pug because I had no condition whatsoever. Hi folks, it's Uranus, and today I'm making a video for all the people out there who would like to start working out but who are actually too shy or scared to do so. Because for a very long time I was like that too. Trust me, at 25 years old I had never been on a proper date in my life. I was overweight, I hated exercising, I had never reached puberty yet, I had man boobs the size of Rachel's balcony, and I had zero body hair. So you can imagine how scared I was of going to a gym and undressing myself in a locker room full of other people. Just the thought of opening the door of a gym gave me panic attacks. Yet somehow I made it into a back alley bodybuilder gym, and that's actually where my comeback story started. Everything I'm going to say comes from my heart and from my own experience, because I know how it is when you're too shy or scared to do something and when it's really blocking you. So let's get to it. The first and the biggest step is you're going to have to overcome that initial fear that you have. That thing deep down that you feel in your guts every time you remind yourself that you would like to start working out, but then suddenly all of the negative voices inside of your head pop up and eventually you stay right where you are. What if I make a fool out of myself in the gym and everyone starts laughing? What if people laugh at me because I'm fat or I'm skinny? What if I shit myself in front of everyone in the gym? Trust me, that fear that you're feeling, I know it all too well. I recently started this YouTube channel and I had to overcome my fear of putting myself in front of the camera, and it took me a long time to be able to do this. And you know what? I'm not camera shy anymore now. Now I know my words won't take your fear away. If I look back 7 years ago, nobody else could have convinced me to go to the gym. It is something that you have to do for yourself, but what I can do is explain how it happened for me. 7 years ago, I was in the worst physical shape I had ever been in. I was heading straight down the line of alcoholism and obesity. Somebody at my job challenged me to start working out, and since I hated my body, I wanted to give it a try. But for months, I was procrastinating, finding excuse after excuse. You know, I'll do it next week, I'll do it after my birthday, I'll do it after stuffing myself for Christmas. You know how it goes. Eventually, I never made it in there. My biggest fear was what others would think about me. Now, I recently read a book called The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck, and in that book there is the following quote: people who are terrified of what other people think are actually terrified of all the shitty things they think about themselves being reflected at them. Now read that again, because it's absolutely true. All the things I feared before going to the gym were actually reflections of things I thought of myself. I used to be scared because I was a 25-year-old boy with a child voice and with underdeveloped genitals, and I really thought other people would judge me for that, but it was actually me hating my own body. I was scared of making a fool out of myself because I had zero knowledge on lifting or on anything gym related, and I thought other people would laugh at me. I was scared because I was bullied a lot in school and a lot during physical education classes, and I thought it would be the same. But you know what? No one has ever laughed at me and no one has ever talked down to me in the gym. I was by far the weirdest and the fattest looking guy in my gym. I had zero experience in lifting and I was breathing louder than an overweight pug because I had no condition whatsoever. I used to wait into the locker room that nobody was there anymore to undress because I had man boobs the size of melons and fat hanging everywhere. Yet, no one ever laughed at me in the gym, not even once, in 7 years. Why? Because everybody is there to work on themselves and to achieve a better physique, and everybody had to start somewhere. I'll always remember my very first workout because I was doing lateral pull downs for the first time, and this guy right here was grunting through his workout right next to me. I didn't even know humans that big existed. As I said, I didn't start working out in a commercial gym, but I started working out in a bodybuilder's gym. And if I have to be honest, here I was actually the one with the predetermined stereotypical thinking about bodybuilders. I was actually the one judging them. But actually, some of the nicest people I have ever met was in the gym. So how did I finally open that freaking door? Well, I was using the private parking of a gym to park my new car because I didn't want it to leave it on the street. One day after work, I was heading to my car. I already had the keys of my Fiesta in my hand, and I just turned around. I said, fuck it, and I went to the gym instead. That's how simple it was. One moment where there was no logical thinking. As a matter of fact, there was no thinking at all. I just went for it, and it turned out that one moment with no brain function completely turned my life around. So I got into the gym and I talked a bit with the owner, who was a retired bodybuilder, and he came down from his desk and he looked at me from toes to my head, and he said, "Son, you're not fat, but boy do you have some buoy around you. Now come back tomorrow when you have some gym clothes for me." And so I did, for 7 years. In the meantime, I've been to more than 40 different gyms in 5 countries, but every time I go back to my very first gym, I am literally being used as a living sales pitch to newcomers. In the gym and in so many other places, it's you versus you. Once you finally pierce through that little comfort zone, you'll ask yourself, why was I even scared in the first place? Why was this such a big deal? You just need to have the courage to show up. You have to start somewhere, and we all do. 7 years ago, had somebody told me that that sick, fucked up kid you see right here would have transformed into this, I would never have believed you. I'll give you another example of a time where I had to step out of my little comfort zone. Going to the gym for the first time is like going to the spa naked for the first time. So I started puberty when I was almost 26 years old. I knew a thing or two about feeling awkward. For years, I hated my body and I hated my genitals. The simple thought of undressing in front of somebody else scared me out completely. So how did I overcome that fear? Well, after a couple of years on HRT, I decided to go to the biggest spa in my country naked. Yeah, the beginning is a little weird and intimidating, and yeah, it can actually be terrifying when you finally reach the end of the dress zone and suddenly the thing you've been scared of is there and you have to remove your swimsuit. And yeah, it doesn't feel comfortable at all in the beginning when you're standing there butt naked in the cold and you're seeing all of these people around you who are just doing their thing and they're relaxed, you know? But after a while, you realize everybody has genitals and you can just start to enjoy yourself and do there what you came there to do. The first step is always going to be the hardest, same thing in the gym. So do what you want to do and stop losing time. You got this. And tell that small little voice inside of your head trying to mess you up to go fuck itself. Or you can use the David Goggins method.
Can you find your balls? Once you locate those, I need you to grab them.
Life is too short to stop yourself from doing things that you really want to do just because you're scared of what other people are thinking. And trust me, most of the time, the other people, they're not even thinking about you, it's just in your own head. And I wish I could tell this to my younger self so I would start earlier and I wouldn't lose that much time thinking about something that doesn't even exist. Most of the issues that you have with the fear and with the anxiety, it's created by yourself, and unfortunately you only realize this once you overcome that fear. Once you overcome it, you actually realize that fear was there for nothing. I shouldn't have been scared of. I lost time for nothing. So do it for yourself. Alright, that's all for today. Let me know in the comments how your very first gym experience went. Subscribe if you like the content, and thank you for watching. Uranus out.